Folks, George Soros is a major player in geopolitical markets. This is a man that most people had never heard of until this most recent presidential election, and many people probably still don't know who he is. And we can tie him directly to the Clinton campaign, not just with the WikiLeaks emails, but also large donations that he has made to the Clinton campaign and the Clinton Foundation. He can also be responsible for the Arab Spring revolution. He has injected millions of dollars into Occupy Wall Street, Black Lives Matter, and MoveOn.org. This is a man that has some serious leverage, some serious money, and some serious agendas. Now, he was on 60 Minutes in 1998. This is a quote-unquote long-lost interview. Alex Jones references it a lot. We're going to go through some of the major highlights from that interview and try to break down who George Soros really is.
In the last 2 years, you've been blamed for financial collapse of Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, and Russia.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Did you see the pride he had in that? What type of individual takes pride and gets a rise out of the fact that he's being called out for collapsing financial markets, collapsing economies, leading to many people starving, homeless on the streets, and he's up there laughing, bragging about it? This is a sick individual.
I think that I've been blamed for everything. I am basically there to make money. I cannot and do not look at the social consequences of what I do.
Does not look at the social consequences of what he does. He says he's in it to make money. Of course, he's talking about his hedge fund management, which we'll get into more in a second. But obviously, he doesn't care about the social consequences. Look at the trouble that's come from the movements that he's funded, from the Arab Spring to what happened at the Ukrainian and Russian border to what's happening here in the United States with Black Lives Matter. This is a man who is trying to foment civil unrest.
After the Dayton peace agreements in Bosnia in 1995, for a considerable period of time, George had given more money to implement the peace agreements than the U.S. government had. He just could move that fast.
So you need to think about this. This is an individual, a big international banker, who apparently has more power, more negotiating leverage than the United States government, more influence than the United States government and we the people. Think about that, folks. That's one man, George Soros, with more influence than the entire United States government. Whatever you think about that is up to you, but that's what went on.
As a competitor, I've got to compete to win. As a human being, I am concerned about the society in which I live.
Which George Soros am I talking to now? The amoral George Soros or the moral George Soros?
It's one person. It's one person who at one time engages in amoral activities and at the rest of the time tries to be moral.
So here he is trying to use word magic to trick himself into the hypocrisy that he's living in, where he says that he cares about the society that he lives in, but also he recognizes that his actions, well, he doesn't really worry about the outcome it has on the society around him. So I'm thinking, now this is a guy who went through a very traumatizing experience as a kid, which we'll get to. I'm thinking George Soros might actually have split personality disorder, folks.
While hundreds of thousands of Hungarian Jews were being shipped off to the death camps, George Soros accompanied his phony godfather on his appointed rounds, confiscating property from the Jews.
You're a Hungarian Jew who escaped the Holocaust by posing as a Christian.
Right.
Lots of people get shipped off to the death camps.
Right. I was 14 years old. And I would say that that's when my character was made.
In what way?
That one should think ahead, one should understand and anticipate events, and one is threatened. It was a tremendous threat of evil. I mean, it was a very personal experience of evil.
So here he is justifying his actions as a teenager, going from being raised Jewish to being a turncoat and turning in Jews to the Nazis. But did you hear what he said there? This basically set the path for him the rest of the way. He said he realized that if you can get out ahead of something, you can take advantage of it. How sick is that? Hey, I realize that the Nazis are coming in here to round up the Jews. Well, I guess I'll collaborate with the Nazis because that'll benefit me in the long run. This is what we're seeing him still doing to this day, folks. Fomenting civil unrest and then trying to leverage political power with people like the Clintons on the back end of it.
I mean, that sounds like an experience that would send lots of people to the psychiatric couch for many, many years. Was it difficult?
Not at all. Not at all. Maybe as a child you don't see the connection, but it created no problem at all.
No feeling of guilt.
No.
So somehow he has no feeling of guilt for rounding up and turning in Jews during the Nazi reign of terror over the Jewish people. Wow.
Of course, I could be on the other side, or I could be the one from whom the thing is being taken away. If I weren't there, of course I wasn't doing it, but somebody else would be taking it away anyhow. In other words, whether I was there or not, I was only a spectator. The property was being taken away. So I had no role in taking away that property. So I had no sense of guilt. Whether I or somebody else does whatever is happening in the markets, it really doesn't make any difference to the outcome. I don't feel guilty because I'm engaged in an amoral activity which is not meant to have anything to do with guilt.
So again, he's feeling no guilt for this at all. And this is something that would lead to you having a split personality disorder, where one side of you is being a traitor to your peers, but then the other side of you is trying to take advantage of that very thing while justifying it within your own social construct. So perhaps, maybe George Soros really does have split personality, but regardless, he justifies working to round up Jews, basically collaborating with the Nazis because, hey, everyone was doing it. Someone was going to do it anyway. I might as well get on board. This is the type of person funding Black Lives Matter and Democrats. Let's roll to the next one.
Are you religious?
No.
Do you believe in God?
No.
Soros told us he believes God was created by man, not the other way around, which may be why he thinks he can smooth out the world's imperfections.
So not religious, doesn't believe in God, but at the same time cares about the society around him. But why is that?
I am basically there to make money. I cannot and do not look at the social consequences of what I do.
So that's what he's in this for, folks. Money and power.
Because we are not registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Because we find it more convenient to operate without it.
So in some ways it's to escape regulation.
Yeah, that's right.
But you've been sitting here talking about the need for regulation.
Yes, and whatever regulations are imposed, we will obey. We already conform to everything.
That's the nature of these people. Do as I say, not as I do. He's up here promoting all of these regulations, but at the same time, he's above them. Okay? This is the makeup of these people, folks. These are the people that are promoting all their agendas, but expecting to be held to a different standard than the people they're imposing them on.
And is giving away his billions now with the same determination that he made them in places like Haiti, a country that has less money in the bank than he does. Last month, he brought the First Lady with him for a look at some of the projects.
Look at the arrogant sway. Oh, my gosh.
This is Mr. George Soros, and he's going to be helping the hospital.
Of course, George Soros and Hillary Clinton were in Haiti in the 90s. And then at the end of it, what does Hillary say? Oh, George is here to help you guys build hospitals. How did that turn out?
If the beneficiaries of Soros's billions do not understand the intricacies of SEC rules and offshore hedge funds, they do understand what he's done for them. The president of Haiti is reading his new book, The Crisis of Global Capitalism, and so is President Clinton. Will all the attention spoil George Soros?
So that's right, folks. George Soros is here trying to claim how he's going to help Haiti, but the Haiti leaders, they don't really understand all of it. They can't really understand SEC this, financial markets that. I don't really know, but what they do understand is they're getting rich. Clintons and the Soros still have millions and billions of dollars, but look at Haiti now.
George Soros, in a way, is Donald Trump without the humility.
Alex Jones here with a very important news update to anybody out there that wants to be prepared. But it goes beyond being prepared. Our bodies absolutely must have the good halogen iodine or we will die. And you look at all of the thyroid problems and all the people that don't have energy and that have all sorts of hormone problems. And from my research and a lot of just mainline research, it leads back to iodine over and over and over again. It's as important as vitamin C. If you don't get iodine, you die. But most people are just deficient, so they're low energy, they're sick. You got to have iodine in your body so that your body can produce the hormones you need. It is the base to so many things. And since I got into iodine 4 years ago, we've helped change the entire paradigm by developing and bringing to the public deep earth crystals from 7 to 12,000 feet of the purest iodine available. Other iodine comes from the ocean or from other byproducts of chemical facilities and is tainted. It's bound. It's not absorbable. I tried it. And I had incredible effects even with dirty iodine because the body needs it. When you don't have iodine, it absorbs the chlorine, the fluoride, and all these other bad halogens. It's such a game changer if you'll just research iodine for yourself. It's a fact that the federal government in the Midwest back in the 20s mandated a grungier form of iodine to the salt because people had low IQs, they had huge goiters, major problems directly connected to it. There are some studies that show a 15-point increase. Others show even higher. But it really is crazy to realize that this is something that is so deficient in our food chain, so deficient in our played out fields where different crops are being grown, but the federal government isn't educating people and telling them about it. That's why for a limited time, I want to encourage everyone to go to InfoWarsLife.com and get 20% off on the best nascent iodine out there from our research, truly pure Survival Shield X2. Again, that's Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2. Thank you for joining us in this brief news update. Do yourself and your family a favor and check out the importance of iodine for yourself. I think you're going to be blown away. And whatever you do, support the broadcast and get a bottle of Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2. Also consult your physician because if you've been deficient in it or have other issues, it can have some dramatic effects. As for me and most folks I talk to, it's been a game changer in the positive column, but still consult your physician because iodine is no joke. It's a key building block of the body. And if you haven't had it for a long time and suddenly have it, some folks say they've experienced things like a detoxing effect and things like that. You've got to have vitamin C. You've got to have iodine to live. You got to have water to live. Iodine is key. You must have it, but consult your physician first before you get powerful Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2 at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll free. We can answer your questions, 888-253-3139.